It's 7 o'clock. It's Monday night. That means it's time for Knightline Live, brought to you by Astro Industries. Go up and see our good friends up in Lynn at Astro Industries. If you're looking for a job or maybe just a part-time job to supplement some income, go see our good friends up at Astro Industries. I'm Jerry Middleton, and with me as usual is Rick Fletcher. And Rick, it was a hot one today.
It's summer, still hanging in there. I think it's going to be like that the rest of the week, Jerry. So, hey, look for it. You hang on to summer as long as you can, because you know the snow will be flying before you know it. In a couple weeks, it'll be October, mid-October, and the weather will get cool. Then you get November, gray, sunny out. Enjoy it.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, a lot on the plate tonight. We got a lot going on. Last week, we made mention of this last week. It was Centerville week.
Yep.
Okay, Centerville and Northeastern, not just in football, but in a lot of things, in volleyball, cross country, and tennis.
Yeah, that was everything.
And a big game Friday night. We're going to get into that. We're going to break that down. We're going to do something we've never done before. We have the tape, okay? We have the video, and we're going to run some of that.
I thought it was going to be get it right.
Yeah, we're going to get it right, but we're going to break that down a little bit and show you some key points of that ball game there. And we have a special guest, someone people aren't quite familiar yet. Hopefully they're getting familiar with them, and maybe this is an opportunity for for those at Northeastern to get familiar with him. Noah Schubert. He is the sports guy, and he does news, but he loves sports. Okay, sports is always the main thing, right?
Yep.
News you do because it gives you a paycheck, all right? But he's a sports guy at 1490 AM, 100.9 FM, WKBV, which ESPN Radio we're all familiar with.
Absolutely.
If you like to listen to the Reds, which I know you do, you tune them in on ESPN Radio. So speaking of the Reds, Jerry, what did they need to do? On Friday, they went where?
They went to Milwaukee and virtually had to win 2 out of 3 in a city that they're lucky to win 1 out of 7.
Yeah.
And they went up there and won 2 out of 3 in 2 exciting games, and they got beat on Sunday. However, those Mets, or the Metropolitans,
with a huge payroll, they imploded. As a guy who likes the underdog, sometimes you don't mind when you see the big teams like that implode on themselves with the big payrolls and the superstars and things like that. But now that you're in the playoffs, all right, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. All you do is get hot.
And with baseball, it's about that next game's pitcher.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it's all about. So look forward to that. And my Red Sox, they're in the playoffs. They're going to play those dreaded Yankees starting tomorrow night.
Oh, my gosh.
No
rivalry there.
It's a big rivalry there. I've been to Yankee Stadium to watch them. I've been at Fenway Park to watch them. And a lot of Red Sox fans in Yankee Stadium, a lot of Yankee fans at Fenway Park.
I heard that you were at the Polo Grounds when they closed it.
No, I was
not.
I'm not quite that old, but I am retiring from my regular job at the end of the year, but I'm not quite that old, Jerry.
Not that old yet, huh?
So still local interest baseball. Of course, we got to touch on the NFL.
You got to touch on NFL.
I got to ask you. You're a football referee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If a guy is running clear into the end zone and he drops the ball at the 1 yard line and he goes out of the end zone, what is that called?
That's called a bad play.
That's called a bad play.
I'm telling you, that's giving the team the ball in the 20 and let them go the other direction.
I tell you, it's got to be painful. It's got to be painful for the guy who did that. And we're talking about the Colts and the Rams.
I want to go to the Colts game on Sunday.
So
we'll see if he gets booed. And it would not surprise me.
And who are they playing tonight? Sunday.
Sunday, they're playing the Raiders.
Okay, so a winnable game
for
them.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, the Las Vegas Raiders. Yep. Colts are a good team, I think, this year. They got a shot at the division. They're as good as anybody. So, a surprising team, I think. Then you got the Bengals play tonight. So, again, they're without Joe Burrow. So we got to see how that goes. The Bears got beat.
Nothing unusual about that.
They So they lost their game, and baby, my Patriots are back. I tell you what, they're 2-2, and we're in the hunt.
And I'm telling you, that's not usual.
Wow,
In the last few years.
Finally, we saw a game where they look like a real NFL team.
Oh, and I also have to bring something else up.
Okay.
To you Packer people who didn't buy the tickets, you got beat again.
Yeah.
So I think the Nice Broadcasting Network curse is upon you at this point.
They actually tied their game.
Well, but you didn't win.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I don't know how. What if you had the Packers to win in your FanDuel account and they tied? What is that? I guess it's points, right?
Yeah, you'd go off the point spread at that point.
So, anyways, that was a kiss your sister game right there. The Packers and the Cowboys.
A little tennis going on tonight.
All right, let's get into this here. Tonight, Tri-Eastern Conference Championships, and Jimmy Summers and Rylan Fraser playing for a Tri-Eastern Conference Championship. So good luck. Those matches, we're at 7:10 here roughly. Those matches have probably already taken place.
It should be over.
And we don't have any information on that. Sectionals for tennis are here. And not here, they're at Richmond High School, but they're going to start at 4:30 against Lincoln. That's who the Knights drew for their opponent on Thursday night.
The tennis is pretty balanced.
Yeah.
I mean, all the teams there, anybody has a chance. Again, you get warm and you can win.
Yeah, and so good luck to those that team right there. We've always had competitive tennis teams. Some years have been better than others. So that's going to be at Richmond High School behind the Tiernan Center. That's where the tennis courts are. You're probably going to want to park out back if you get over there. And again, that starts at 4:30 on Thursday. Good luck to the guys, and you win, you go on, and tennis is one where it's a team sport and an individual sport. You can go on as an individual if you're a 1 seed.
Yep.
Okay, so it's got a little oddity there, or your whole team goes.
Well, and the next sport, same thing, cross country.
Well, cross country, the girls have I'm not going to say this because the struggle we've had over the years. Just fielding a team for girls, now they're dominating.
Yeah, they're doing well, and so the boys and girls both won at Centerville.
Yeah, they had an invite over there at Centerville High School, and the girls led by Hayden Nagel, and she won for the girls, and Dash Thacker.
And my wife loves that name.
Well, I was just going to say Dash. What a name!
You got to be a cross country track guy with Dash Thacker.
Yeah, we gotta. Dash. If you're listening, we love your name. We're gonna have to have Dash on some.
We're gonna have to have Dash on, and then of course the old. I think it was the Beverly Hillbillies. It was Dash Riprock.
Yes, I remember Dash Riprock.
Yeah, the Beverly Hillbillies.
Well, anyways, Hayden and Dash. Hayden won that meet for the girls, and she's only a freshman.
Yep.
And Dash won that meet for the boys. So congratulations
Absolutely.
to both of them. And keep going. Their sectionals are a little bit later.
Yeah, we're a few weeks yet.
Yeah,
a couple weeks.
All right, so that's our cross-country team. Especially the girls really looking very good, and the guys aren't bad either.
Nope.
Okay,
Nope.
so we've always been competitive in cross-country. Trying to get it all in. We got a volleyball.
Volleyball moves to 16-5.
Yeah.
That's nothing to shake a stick at. I mean, that's pretty doggone good right now. And they beat Franklin County. And
kind of handily.
handily.
A lot of players got to play. Now, Franklin County's a little bit on the downside, all right? But you come in, you play, you still want to perform, you want to play up to your best ability, and, the Knights did that.
And then they go on the road, Centerville week, beat Centerville at Centerville.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one in a second here. And then they played the Eastern Hancock. They played a tournament down there
Yep.
this weekend. They went 2-1.
Yep.
So pretty good showing.
Yep.
These
Good day.
tournaments, you get to play teams
I think
that
they
you
beat Edinburgh and Hauser and lost to Eastern Hancock, who
Yeah.
they had beaten
earlier, and they were close.
Yeah.
They were like 2 points
Yeah.
each game.
It was close.
So they were close. But the volleyball team, and we'll talk about sectionals in a second. But that volleyball, it's going to be some teams in that volleyball sectional, Jerry. That we know about Winchester.
Yeah.
Okay, we've seen how good they are. You got to call them the favorite at this point.
I agree. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
But the Knights could be there. You got to play your A+ game.
You
Okay?
you never know what can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, a great team is one injury away from being so-so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you got to have a couple rolls here and there. You got to make a couple plays here and there and keep that momentum going. I watched Purdue and Illinois yesterday. Purdue looked as bad as they could look. And then they come back, and I'm thinking, oh, my goodness, this is a top 2 or 3 team in the country.
From set to set, things
From set
change.
to set, things change. You see momentum just walk across.
And when we're broadcasting volleyball, we always talk about momentum, point runs, and momentum seems to be a big thing in volleyball that can carry you throughout a set or throughout a match. So,
absolutely.
So those things, we're dealing with high school girls, and those things happen, So we'll talk about sectionals here in a second,
Okay.
Jerry, when we get back. But we did have, for the Fountain Franklin County game, we had our players of the game. Adeline Caps was one of them, and Slammin' Sammy Kircher. Slammin' Sammy. She's got that nickname now. She's not going to be able to give it up.
No.
So, Slammin' Sammy. So, Aiden, let's go to that Addie and Sammy and see what these girls had to say. Our Subway players of the game are junior Adeline Caps and sophomore, I got to say it, Slammin' Sammy Kircher, friends. Meet Slammin' Sammy. We're going to hear more about her down the line. So, Addie, let's talk to you first. You've been out for a while.
Yeah.
Finally you get back out there. Good time. You got some matches left that you can go because we've got a lot of conference games, sectionals to look forward to not that long down the way. So, how'd you feel out there? You made some good digs. We
I
were
felt
watching
good.
you. Yeah.
It's good to be back. I haven't played the whole season basically.
Yeah,
and
you've been out quite a bit, but so did you have to? I mean, it looks like your coach was kind of working you in slowly.
Yeah.
So talk about that. Will your time increase as we go along here, or what do you think?
No, I think I'm fully back now.
Okay.
She was definitely working me into it a little bit to make sure that I was fully okay and make sure my head wasn't hurting any and all that.
Yeah.
Which is good because if anything started hurting, that's not good.
Yeah, all right. So, we need to get all our walking wounded back here. So, because, these matches are going to get important. All right, Sammy, you're only a sophomore. You normally play JV. You got some varsity time out there.
Yeah.
Made a few good plays, okay? So, talk about your time getting out there. Does it help to get out on the varsity floor?
Yeah, it does. I'm kind of scared, though, every time I go out there.
No need to be scared, all right? You got your teammates around you. All right, we got a nickname for you, right? Slammin' Sammy. I don't know why we do that. We're just having fun. So I think you're going to be stuck with it, okay?
All right.
All right, so that was Adeline Caps and
Hold on. Can I say one more thing?
No.
I would just like to say that Mr. Libby is my favorite teacher ever.
Well,
Mine too.
All right, Jerry, check the grade books, all right? We're going to see if there's an A on tap for Adeline Caps.
Yep, it better be.
All right, this has been your Subway players of the game, Adeline Caps and Sammy Kircher.
Welcome back, and Caps and Kircher, 2 good interviews. I mean, they're fun.
Well, it's good to have Addie. She's been hurt for quite a while. She's barely played this year, so hopefully she's over that because she's going to be an important cog, going forward for the Knights, as they head down the road here. We're coming to the end here in volleyball.
I mean, you only got a couple weeks left.
Yeah, so Let's touch a little bit on that Centerville game. Centerville came out in that game. They were on fire because they were spurred on by a huge student section, and the Knights had a huge student section for being an away game, and it was loud, Jerry, and it was intense. It's a lot of fun. You absolutely love to see that, especially with volleyball girls. Get their time.
Oh, and the popularity of volleyball has just exploded in the past couple years, and to see this crowd starting to show up for high school games and so forth is really wonderful.
Yeah, and it was very. And again, you have that Centerville.
Yep.
This is Centerville week, so you got Centerville and Northeastern going at it, and the Knights took control of the match. They did sweep the match, but there were some tense moments at times.
Well,
but,
and that's what you expect. You don't expect anybody, no matter who you play, to roll over and say, "Okay, you win."
Yeah, you actually want that competition.
You want the competition because when it comes sectional time, you want to have that.
Yeah.
Now, and I'll get into football when we get to football.
Yeah,
tell you a couple tidbits about that.
We got a lot to say about football. So, all right, we have a correction. All right, Jerry, we made a mistake. We don't do this often, but the Bears won yesterday. They beat the dreaded Raiders as they blocked the kick at the end of the game.
Oh, I think probably ESPN posted it incorrectly. We just picked it up that way.
No, I was wrong. I actually watched. Here's the funny thing. I watched the end of that game, and I don't know how I got it. Hey, we're getting older. That's how
I hear you.
how that works.
Well, I think it's commercial time.
Yeah.
Hey, you're watching Knightline Live. At Kate's Family Eye Care, we value a family-friendly atmosphere, offering high-quality eye exams. Our expert staff utilizes the latest techniques in eye care. We have a large selection of affordable glasses that are unique to our area. We are proud supporters of the Northeastern Knights and wish all the teams the best of luck.
Go Knights!
When the professional's vehicle gets sick, they go to All Around Auto Repair and Sales, located in Fountain City. Their SAE certified technicians work on foreign, domestic, and those fun diesels. Work van not feeling good? Or maybe the family car? And don't forget about the Weekend Warrior. Go to All Around Auto, 408 US 27 Fountain City. It's good medicine for your car.
Looking for some good local barbecue? Well, look no further because Ann and the Pigs has arrived. We got tips, ribs, chicken, and our fan favorite pulled pork sundae. You hungry yet? Well, check out our website at annandthepigs.com to find out where our truck is located next. And if you miss our truck, don't worry, you can cater with us year-round by using our website as well. Ann and the Pigs, bringing tasty where it's needed.
Do you have a big event coming up soon? Dejo Photos has you covered. Check us out on Facebook. We are professional photographers who strive to capture all of your special moments, such as family portraits, senior photos, live action sports, graduations, and so much more. If you don't think photos are important, wait until they are all you have left. Contact us via email at info@dejophotos.com or call us at 765-277-0047. Dejo Photos, capturing memories one photo at a time.
From our trucks to their lunch trays, to your local hospital, to your favorite pub, and to your kitchen table. For more than 60 years, Dot Foods and Dot Transportation have been stocking the shelves of your hometown. Sure, we've grown a lot, But at our core, we're still small-town, family-run businesses that care about our communities and the people who keep us running. Join the Dock family today and be part of something bigger.
Being aligned with the Better Homes and Gardens brand brings with it a unique approach to identifying, marketing, and servicing distinctive homes. We know that your experience while buying and selling your home is as important as the homes being bought and sold. That's why our affiliated agents are passionate about personalizing every part of your real estate experience to ensure that every moment is distinctive.
In this market, finding a home you love and actually closing the deal is a cause for celebration. And it all starts with a competitive edge from First Financial Bank. We'll get you pre-qualified fast so you can get your offer in first. We even offer programs with low down payment options and reduced closing costs. Plus, our friendly local team is always here to help. A bank that's ready to help you find a home and a reason to celebrate, however you choose to. That's First.
Welcome back to Knightline Live, brought to you by Astro Industries up in Lynn. And so if you mention the letters WKBV 1490 on the AM dial, you think of high school sports Phil Stiegelman, who was the broadcaster for years and years and years there. And KBV has been, well, they've been the anchor of sports broadcasting in the area for it seems like 100 years.
Well, I've been in the area, Jerry, for 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Joel Brandon.
Oh, yeah, Joel.
You know, he was there for quite a while, and, you know, those guys. But, yeah, 1490 AM has always been that anchor station where on Friday night you get football, and during the week you get basketball. And so we're pleased tonight to have the gentleman who does the play-by-play. That's Noah Schubert. Noah, how you doing?
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Welcome,
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Noah.
Welcome to the set. All right, we want to drill down a little bit here, Noah, because you're not from around these parts. We know that. Tell us where you're from and how you got here.
So I'm from Northern Virginia, a town called Herndon, Virginia. I went to school at Christopher Newport University, which I think is not very known to a lot of people, but is apparently known on this set.
Yeah, Jerry knew that school. So what are you guys, I'm just curious now, what is that university famous for?
Oof. So, I mean, it's a public school in Virginia. Recently, the sports have been out of control. I mean, so I got there in 2021.
Okay.
And we won 3 national championships when I was there. And we won in women's soccer, men's basketball, and softball when I was there.
Okay.
And the sports have been Final Four teams and deep in NCAA tournament runs, countless conference championships. But within the state, it's just known as, it's a small school with a good business school. It's gaining notoriety. And so it gave me an opportunity to pursue my passion.
Yeah. Let's start, if we can go back.
Yes.
Okay, you're still a young guy, but it wasn't long ago you got your start in the business. All
Yeah.
right? So go back to your high school years and tell us how you got started and, you know, what happened.
Yeah, so I started, sports writing was where I wanted to start. And I got a fantastic opportunity actually in middle school to write for Sports Illustrated for Kids.
Wow.
And so I spent a year and a half doing that, and that was fantastic. It really kind of opened my eyes to the possibilities in the industry, interviewing these top figures in sports. I mean, I talked to guys like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Roy Williams, Manny Machado, you know.
And you were a high school kid?
I was a middle school kid.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Did you get paid for that, by the way? I was just curious.
No, I did not. It was all about the
okay.
experience. But
All
I
right.
got media credentials out the wazoo, and it was great.
Oh, wow.
And then I kept writing throughout high school. I wrote for our boosters. I wrote for our school newspaper. But then my senior year, when the pandemic hit, and we started live streaming all of our games, especially basketball, and I realized one day I was watching, I was like, this is a silent live stream with just a camera going back and forth. What's going on
Kind of
here?
like a huddle camera.
Literally, it's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And so I talked to our athletic director, and I texted her. I was like, hey, have you thought about getting a broadcaster on this? And she was like, no. Do you want to do it? And I was like, why not? Let's see what happens. So we set up this, it was like a school laptop with like a computer lab headset and an online-based soundboard, streaming through YouTube, and I had the best time.
Rick, this sounds awful familiar.
It sounds very familiar.
Awful familiar here. I'm just, where have I heard that before?
Back in the pandemic, that's when we got started.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did the PA, and Jerry Keesling, AD at the time, says, "Hey, so you're going to do play-by-play on our live streams." And Rick was.
I volunteered. I was going to sweep the
He says,
floor
"I'll
just
sweep
so I
the
could
floor
get
so
into
I
the
can-"
games. So.
And he says, "Rick could do color for you." I was like, "Well, we'll find out how this works." And it actually was a pretty good matchup.
Yeah.
So, but that's funny.
Yeah. So then I did a lot of basketball games for boys and girls varsity basketball, and I had a blast. And I realized that this is what I want to do. And
Did you get? Was it like you caught the fever at that point in time?
Absolutely,
Okay,
I
you
did.
were writing up to that point
Yes.
still. Did you continue writing, or how did that work? Did you meld the two together? Or?
So I was writing a little bit, but honestly, I'd kind of fallen out of love with writing a little bit. It'd become a little tedious at that point. And so it gave me like a new outlet to explore with sports. And so initially I thought I wanted to be like an anchor or something like on Sports Center. But then once I started doing play-by-play and getting into that, I realized that this is what I want to do. You know, you get kind of the creative outlet of like you do with writing. And then you get to, talk about sports and be creative and, describe all the action. And you see all of your broadcasters, your Ian Eagles and your Joe Bucks and your Al Michaelses. And you're like, these are just the guys who, the masters of their crafts. And you just kind of like, I want to be like them. And so it just molded itself into this passion project for me.
So that was your senior year in high school?
Yes, it
you
was.
Did that? And by the way, writing newspapers kind of gone by the boards anyways. I mean, I don't want to be too critical because we still have, sports writers
Absolutely.
and things like that. But with YouTube and the internet, it's kind of taken on different, a lot of those guys, the writers, have moved to podcasts and things like that. It's a whole new ball game where anybody with a camera and a microphone can go on, right? Look at us. We're somebody's watching us. So.
Rick, you notice all those great broadcasters you mentioned? There was two names left out.
Yeah, Jerry and Rick.
I'm just saying.
On purpose. All right, so you go into college.
Yes.
Did you continue on with your passion, or did it grow? Or describe that experience.
Yeah, so when I was trying to decide where I wanted to go to school. I was trying to decide whether I wanted to go somewhere that would give me the greatest opportunity with a degree, or where I would be able to thrive as an individual. So there were a couple of great journalism schools to get into, Arizona State and Missouri. Two of the best journalism schools in the country.
Wow, a little ways from home.
A little ways from home, and then when we took a final tour of Christopher Newport. It was the first university I toured, and we asked our tour guide, do they do broadcasts? And so she was able to get me in contact with my boss, who became my boss when I went there, and he said, you step on campus. I had an interview with him before I even committed to go to school there. He said, you step on campus, you're going to learn how, you're not going to just perfect calling games. You're going to learn day one camera work and production and editing and graphics and running cables and everything that goes into a broadcast. And in my head, I was like, sold.
Yeah.
Because
it's not when you take the field on Friday night for your football game. There's a lot of prep work before even local high school game.
Oh yeah.
You don't just show up.
Yes.
Okay. We'll get into that in a second. But so they were a professional organization as far as you were concerned.
Yeah, they were. It's a completely student run. It's live streamed all online.
Yeah.
And so every single varsity game is online. And so they need people to cover all those games. And so it's a completely student run enterprise, and I had a blast doing it. I showed up my freshman year, and the first Saturday I was there, I was calling volleyball games. Like instantly getting on campus and getting that experience, and then just going throughout the season, I did volleyball and men's women's soccer and men's women's basketball and baseball and softball and field hockey and men's lacrosse and women's lacrosse, and it was just everything. And when I think about, there was like that kind of balancing in my mind was go to Arizona State, go to Missouri, and spend 2 to 2.5 years riding the pine behind someone else who wants to do exactly what I'm doing.
Right.
Get that
more competition.
Exactly. Get that degree that says ASU and maybe some better connections. Or do I go to Christopher Newport, local, and I kind of trailblaze my own path?
Yeah.
And
you got the experience.
And get the experience.
All right. Did you when you were broadcasting, we have an analyst and a color guy,
Yes.
a color guy and a play-by-play.
Yeah.
How did you work it at college?
It depended on the game. Sometimes, a lot of the times I was by myself.
Okay.
I was play-by-play and color commentary a lot of the times, which was an added challenge, but
Yeah.
it was nice because you get to grow your skills in both parts of it.
Yeah.
And then there were times where I was also the color guy, or I was the play-by-play guy, and I had a color a color guy with me, and so I got best of all worlds in that sense.
And people don't realize how hard it is to do it by yourself.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard.
It is, even when we're doing it, it's hard to do by yourself. And we've done it because of necessity, just the way things work. But generally speaking, we don't like to.
Yeah.
Because it's hard.
Yeah, you definitely. So, do you have a preference, play-by-play or?
Oh, I'm a play-by-play guy through and through.
Yeah. There's a different skill set.
It is.
And as a play-by-play guy, you got to bring the color guy in. And
Yes.
that takes a skill. You got some chemistry that you can build. Jerry and I have been doing it together for 5 years now.
Yeah.
So you get that. It's just like any team.
Yeah.
And so, we can do that. We're bringing on different color guys now. Like we have basketball, we'll have different color analysts. They have more of a basketball background, coaching type thing.
Yeah.
And so that's what we try to do. But you like the play-by-play.
Yes.
It is fun. Play-by-play is fun.
Yeah.
And leave the analysis up to the color analyst. Let him get his thing in. So. All right, so you're there. You're enmeshed in their broadcast. What were your degree in?
So I graduated with I majored in communication.
Okay.
And I graduated with a minors in journalism and German.
All right.
And so
German.
Yeah, German. So there's more of a story behind that.
Okay.
But yeah, they added the journalism degree actually during my sophomore year.
Okay.
And so I was able to tack that on as one of my minors, which I think was really beneficial.
Yeah.
Because I did take, for instance, like a sports writing class, so it would get like that love back into sports writing as well, which I enjoyed. But yeah, I had a fantastic time. I treated it like I graduated in 7 semesters. I treated it like a 3.5-year internship.
Okay.
I was there enjoying school, enjoying, learning and the social side of everything, but also, it was a business trip. I was there to become a better broadcaster, to learn as much as I could about the industry, and to put myself in the best possible position to get a gig out of college, because that's the first step. It's just getting in the door.
Yeah. All right. So after college,
Yes.
which wasn't that long ago for you. Again, you're a young guy. So after college, what did you do, and how did you end up here?
Yes.
On the edge of the cornfields, okay, from Northern Virginia, just in the throes of Washington, D.C., I think.
Yeah,
right?
yes, absolutely.
Where all the power players are. No power players out here at Northeastern. So tell us about that travel and how you got there.
So the night that I graduated December 18th, 2024.
Okay.
At 1 a.m. on December 19th, I was scouring, literally I was scouring Indeed. I get, you just get these notifications in your inbox here, open positions, and I'm also part of this organization called the Sportscasters Talent Agency of America, and they also send job leads through your email. And so literally I'm just scrolling, and it's right after I graduated, and I see this one is open, and I'm like, it seemed like kind of like like a fantastic way to start. And I'd sent out a few applications already, so I was just rolling through applications pretty much. And, I send this one out. Literally, I graduated 6 hours earlier, and I sent a job application. And maybe a week later, I get an email from Rick Duncan saying, "Hey, you want to interview for this position?" And I was
wow,
like,
okay.
Yeah, are you kidding me?"
But you came with experience already because of what you did in college.
I did, and I also supplemented it with, I was doing stuff over the summer as well with a local streaming group who did high school sports.
Okay.
So I was calling high school basketball games when I was on winter break, on summer break. I was doing just literally as much as I could nonstop.
Okay.
And so I end up getting, this connect with Rick. Couple interviews later, and about a month after I graduate, I get the phone call. Do you want to take this position? And I was just, it was an instant yes. There was no regard for anything else because I knew this was the start.
Yeah.
This is how you get in. You go to, admittedly, I'd never heard of Richmond, Indiana.
Yeah. Neither had I until I married my wife and we came here to visit. So,
but I knew that
Tom Raper RV, exit 149A at the school bus factory. Come on, guys.
Jerry's a lifer here. So
Yeah,
he went to Richmond High School. So, all right. So you came here right out of college, basically,
Yes.
And so I can remember meeting you last year. At basketball, wherever, I can't remember if it was sectionals or somewhere, and I introduced myself to you. And you happened to see some good Centerville games. Centerville Northeastern had a good sectional championship
that
game.
was one of the most electric basketball games I've ever been to because I had heard of Hoosier Hysteria, right? I mean, I'd done a little bit of research. I've started reading my books to kind of get a little better sense to it. But showing up here, and when I started calling games, it was the end of boys basketball season and then went straight into sectionals. And seeing the packed house at Hagerstown, that was something else.
And that sectional championship game was a packed house. And
it was 2,500 people all packed into a high school gym.
Yeah, and it was loud.
It was electric.
Yeah.
And that was a fantastic sectional championship, too.
Yeah.
Nail biter.
Yeah, it was a good game. So that was your introduction, basically. You had a few regular season games,
Yes.
and then went right into sectionals.
The first game I actually did was the regional championship for the Northeastern girls. It was,
okay.
I showed up on the Friday, and my boss, and Rick said, hey, do you want to call this game? And I was like, of course I want to call this game. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And I'm bright-eyed showing up, and all of a sudden, here I am traveling out, and I believe it was Northeastern and Heritage Christian.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't play our best.
Yeah.
I mean, that was unfortunate, but you got to do the game.
Yeah, and so here I am, and I'm like, I had just no idea what to expect. So that was the very first game I did. But then I got to do more into the boys' basketball season towards the end of the season and travel around the Wayne County local area and learn more about these schools and then getting into sectionals. So it's just a whole different experience.
Yep. So is there a plan at the radio station to do both boys and girls this year?
Yes, absolutely there is.
You got to buy some ads, right? We'll put the plug out there.
Yes.
Buy the ads, right?
I know my predecessor started doing girls basketball,
Yeah.
and so I absolutely plan on continuing that trend.
All right.
100%.
Now, do you work alone, or do you have a partner? Do you bring in partners, or how do you do it?
So when I my first game, I had a partner kind of show me the ropes about how things work. And
Okay.
then when the basketball season through last year, I was doing it on my own. And now starting in football season, we have hired in he's a reporter. His name's Andrew Kale.
Okay.
And he had a background as well in doing sports when he was at Richmond High School, and now he's got his degree in college. And so now I was kind of happenstance that he had a background in sports. And so now that I started football season, he's become my color commentator, and we have been just developing our relationship throughout the season, getting that chemistry, meshing together, and it's been great because admittedly, and I didn't tell Rick this, I'd never called a football game when I showed up at the station.
Okay.
I never had that chance in high school, never had that chance in college. And so I show up, and it's a lot easier to call football games with a partner than solo.
Oh my goodness,
definitely
yes.
is. So on our football broadcast, I'm the play-by-play, and my son's the analyst.
Oh, yeah.
And he knows all the ins and outs about. He's like got a coach's, brain. So works out well for us.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. Yeah. They haven't thrown me out yet, so.
We've decided to cut your pay, though.
Yeah, which is already zero. So.
Zero.
All right, so we're coming to the end here, but if you had a chance, if you're speaking to some kids out there who want to follow in your footsteps, what is your advice to them?
And real quick here, we have a Knights Broadcasting Network scholarship that
Yeah.
we give to someone wanting to go into broadcasting or journalism that we do here.
Yes.
So, we offer that. So anyway.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing I'd say is don't be afraid to try something new. So while I call sports on the radio, I mean, I do news for G113, WKBV, and WZZY. I'm on the morning show with my boss, Rick Duncan. I'm handing out Athlete of the Week awards, driving around Wayne County and Randolph County. I am I run our sports programming, so I figure out what sports we're going to run on WKBV and WZZY for the week. I wear a lot of hats, so don't be afraid to try something new and wear a lot of hats when you first show up, because you're not going to get that sports gig right out of college, but you're going to get something that's going to grow you as well. Being a news and sports director and also being an on-air personality, it grows you as an individual entering the industry.
And the other thing, was it helpful to learn the production side of it?
Absolutely,
all the
it
things that
was.
go
Yes.
on. Well, I tell you, we're out of time here, Noah, because I could go on for another hour.
Oh.
No, we're gonna have you on again because
Yeah.
I want to hear about your prep, how you prep for a game.
Absolutely, I would love to.
But that's gonna take more time.
I could do a full segment on this.
Yeah, because when you show up at Friday night, wherever you are, you were at Centerville Northeastern
Yes.
game last Friday night, you had to do a lot of homework. And
Oh, yeah.
I know what you have to do, or at least I have an idea. So we're going to have you back.
Yes, please.
Maybe just break that down.
Yeah,
right?
I would love to.
We'll do the diagrams or something here. I don't know how we're going to do it. We'll get the whiteboard out, and you're going to tell us how you prep for a game.
Absolutely, I will.
We'll do that again. Well, Jerry, interesting.
Absolutely. You don't know people until you see people.
Yeah.
You can hear voices, and Rick and myself, the paparazzi drives us nuts. Because the face. Now you're going to be cursed.
Yeah,
you're going
that's
to have
all right.
you're going to have the paparazzi chasing you now. So that's the way it works.
If you see Noah at Northeastern, which he'll probably show up at some point.
I'll be here in a couple weeks for the Hagerstown game.
All right, so football, basketball.
Of course I'll be here for basketball season.
Corner. We should have some competitive teams. So
Yes.
You'll probably want to get involved in that.
Make sure you tell him hello and
Say
tell
hello
him
and-
thanks for doing it. And Noah, thanks for coming. And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about that Centerville Northeastern football game on Knightline Live.
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Harmon sheds are custom built to your specifications and needs. But wait, there's more. Harmon sheds build privacy fences, decks for your pool, beautifully designed decks for all around your home, and detached pavilions. Let Joe and the crew do all the work, so all you need to do is relax.
We're dedicated to great results just for you. Johnson Chiropractic.
I recommend Dr. Johnson all the time over the years. Many people have come to Dr. Johnson for my recommendations. And if people live 50 miles away and they tell us they have this problem and they're going to have an operation, we say, no, go see our chiropractor, Dr. Johnson.
We're dedicated to great results just for you. Johnson Chiropractic.
This is Rick Fletcher. When my car needs repair, I take it to 715 Simharjan Parkway in Richmond, home of Knuckle Busters. With their ASE certified technicians, why would you go anyplace else? They repair domestic and imports, air conditioners to Z-bars. Knuckle Busters Auto Repair. Call 765-488-1470 and tell them to go Knights!
L&S Lumber Hardware and Supplies in Greensfork. Walk into what a hardware store should be. Filled with Valspar paint, Red Ryder wagons, generators, Old Milwaukee Power Tools, and DeWalt Power Tools. Animal feed, lawn and garden supplies. Make sure you ask about our pole barn packages. L&S Lumber, hardware and supplies in Greens Fork.
We would love to invite you to LifeSpring Students, our youth group at LifeSpring Church that is just south of Northeastern on 27. We meet from 7 to 8:30 on most Thursdays, but the doors open at 6:30. You can grab some pizza or a snack from our cafe and then hang out with your friends until 7 p.m. At 7, our student band leads us in some worship through music, and we have a lesson from God's Word, the Bible. We then split into small groups based on grade and gender to apply what we have learned and pray with one another. Find out more at lifespring.tv/students.
Martin's Country Mart, US 27 Fountain City. Swing in and grab a coffee or a frazzle. Maybe a fountain drink at Martin's Country Mart. We also have all your favorite snacks, bottled drinks, and of course, sweet bakery items. Plenty of accessories for dinner. And don't forget the grill menu covering lunch, dinner, and of course, the kids' favorite, pizza. Martin's Country Mart, Fountain City. Welcome back to Knightline Live, and I'll tell you what, Noah, that young man's going places.
Oh yeah, he was very engaging. You can see his enthusiasm. I appreciate him coming in.
Yeah.
And Jerry, I really want to do that next step with him as far as game preparation.
Yeah.
And like we were talking to him off camera, he was at Centerville last Friday night. And it said it took him 5 hours of preparation just to do the game.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I mean, if you're not doing the same team all the time, my goodness.
Yeah, you got to really.
You got two teams you got to do.
Yeah.
And so that's tough. Well,
appreciate having him on.
Big
Football.
game, football, big game,
Back
big
to
game.
football.
And all I got to say is Knights win, Knights win.
Well, the Knights win it. What a game it was, Jerry.
Yeah.
It was a tremendous ball game. So we're going to break it down a little bit. Knights come out 29-27. They go to 6-0.
Mm-hmm.
Again, undefeated. They're, the inside track on the conference. Chance to go 9-0. Hopefully, they were undefeated in the regular season last year. So congratulations to those guys. We got some breakdowns here. First play I want to talk about, there was an interference. Caden Redder drew an interference call in the end zone, which set up a Knights touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I believe it was the tying touchdown because they were down 14-7. All right.
Now, where did that play originate from? Remember what yard?
It was it was inside the 10. So
Inside the 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was goal to go.
All right.
All right. So let me describe what you're going to see. Now, we're not CBS and Fox Sports. We don't have the, intimate camera angles that they do. I'm giving credit right now to the Centerville live stream that they have, and they use a huddle camera.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's where I was able to get this video. But here, what you're going to see, it was a good call by the referee. You saw the defender hook Redder, and you can see Redder turn around. So if you watch this, let's go to the video, Aiden.
Going to snap the pass. Gotta go. Almost. Penalty flag on the play.
And when you watch this as a referee, and in basketball, same as in football, if you have one hand up, it's the other hand that you've got to be worried about.
Yes.
And that other hand went around that hip and twisted him.
And it didn't appear to be a lot, but it was enough to take him out of the play.
And it doesn't take much.
And you could see the referee was right there. He was staring at it straight ahead. He had the best view in the house.
Yep.
The rest of us, our views were in the stands, on the sidelines. He had the best view. So, in my opinion, that was an excellent call by the referee, and that led to a Knights touchdown. All right, let me set up the next one, Jerry, because this play was, first of all, you have to understand, we had players cramping like crazy. There are guys on the ground getting stretched. I mean, at least 4 or 5 guys all night long had to come out, able to go back in. You had Trent Deloney in the end zone down. The trainer went out. You had who else? I saw Marshall Phillips was being stretched out. Cale Hansen a couple times. We had to stop the game and get him. But these guys were all able to go back in. The only thing I'm going to say is stay hydrated, okay?
Well, it's funny you mentioned Cal Hansen's name because Cal broke 3 school records.
Wow.
In that ball game. One of them was, I forget what they are, but I know there was 3 things that he broke. So
Well, we're going to have to get that information.
we'll have to figure all that out.
We'll
Next
bring-
week we'll talk about it.
But anyways, this was the go-ahead touchdown that put the Knights up for good, okay? And they came out in their monster package.
Yeah.
They bring all the big guys out, and they're going to try to run it right up the gut. Well, you'll see Marshall Phillips is the back, okay? He's like in the pistol formation.
Yeah.
He's a running back. He goes right. There's 3 Centerville guys right there. He's not going anywhere. That play was a disaster. He turned around and went back to the other side, headed for the corner. If you pay attention to this video, you're going to see a great block by Bryce Brittingham on the back end of that play, which sprung Marshall to the end zone. Okay, excellent play. Good for Bryce to stay in the play. All right, so go ahead, Aiden, run that play.
When it comes to your home, you don't just
Quarterback keeper to Marshall Phillips. He's trying to find an opening. Breaks one tackle. Nobody there. Into the end zone touchdown for the Knights.
Well, I'll tell you what. Sometimes you're best to read than to just run because
Yeah.
he read that and there's a wall. Hey, let's go the other way.
He was going to be tackled immediately.
Yeah.
Smart enough to turn around. He didn't know what was on the other side, but
Yeah.
he know that wasn't. Centerville had it well covered.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what happens. They over pursued on the backside. He had a good block from Bryce, and he went into the end zone. So that put the Knights up 21-20. And that they were going to be ahead the rest of the game, but not without some angst, okay?
Yeah.
So there were some plays in between. Centerville had the ball, probably 4 or 5 minutes left. They had a penalty. They got pushed back. They had to punt it away. And the Knights get the ball, let's say with 2.5 to 3 minutes left. At that point, you're leading.
Yep.
And what do you try to do? You want to run the ball and get the first down.
You want to keep that clock chugging.
Yeah, well, of course, now Centerville's going to load the box.
Oh, yeah.
And that's exactly, there was no running room, okay? So Wes Oler, they called a pass play and took everybody by surprise, took me by surprise. Trent Deloney was wide open. He went in for a touchdown. So that put the Knights up 7. You kick the extra point. You're up by 8. Still time on the clock.
Yeah.
Centerville can come back, okay?
And I'm sure in the back of the mind, they're thinking try high field goal.
Yeah.
A week ago.
Yeah. So here's what happened there. Knights are up 7. Kicked the extra point. Marshall was good all night on they executed all night, but they decided to go for 2. Watch this play here. It was a pitch to Deloney. He spreads it out. He tosses the ball to Redder in the end zone. It was tipped by a Centerville player right into the hands of Caden Redder and the Knights. 2-point conversion. Now you're up 2 scores. It was a gutsy call. Okay,
oh my.
Gutsy call by Wes Oler, but it paid off. Let's run that short video right there, Aiden.
Nice snap, pitch out to Deloney, pass, broke it up, let's stop it in the 5, Caden Redder. 2-point conversion is good.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Another tip ball,
Well, it's just another, and it seems like the Knights pull out these trick plays at the right times, like the hook and ladder a few weeks ago, and just at the right time, here comes this trick play at the right time.
Yeah.
And you know, I'd rather be calling my plays.
Well,
You
so
know.
that put the Knights up
Yeah.
9, but Centerville wasn't done. All right, there was probably a couple minutes left in the ball game. They quickly got down and scored a touchdown, and Knights are up by 29 to 27 at this point in time. What's coming, right?
Yep.
You've got the onside kick. Now those are hard to execute at any level, especially
Yep.
at a high school level. But let's give it up to Cam Gibson. Now he's on the hands team, and he was able to recover that ball. Let's give him some love right here. Let's go to that video and see Cam recover that football.
Cam looked like a puma.
Well, he looked like
jumping
a
on
puma,
that.
and he looked like a baseball player.
That's
didn't
right.
He, you know, and that's Wes mentioned that this was a total. There were no heroes here. Everybody who played had a hand in this game, and so after the game, we always try to talk to Wes. Okay, and this is a long one tonight, so I want to run it because Wes had a lot to say, and I want to get that in, and also we got a little thing after Wes. We'll play this little video that we have of the student celebration, so we'll do that. Then we'll go to commercials, and Jerry, you and I will come back and wrap it up.
Sounds good.
All right, let's go to that video and just continue on, Aiden. All right, welcome to Centerville High School. This is the First Financial Bank Coach's Comment, brought to you by First Financial Bank and Beth Beatty. If you need a new mortgage or you need to rewrite an existing mortgage, go see Beth over at First Financial Bank in Richmond. So I'm here with Coach Wes Oler. Let's call it what it was, a 29-27 victory, Wes. There's a lot to talk about in this one right here. Let's start with the first half. We take it right down the field, take it in. You know, we're playing well at that point in time, but then we give up an interception or a turnover there, and Centerville goes in with a halftime lead. Talk about the first half in this game. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I thought we executed great the first drive. Then we had a little bit of a trick play off of a reverse we ran earlier in the season and executed it perfectly. Perfect throw, great job catching it, getting his feet in bounds. But then we stopped being able to run the football in the first half, and we knew if they were going to empty their box, if they were in, they were in a 4-man box basically. We have to be able to run the football, and we didn't do it well enough in the first half to control the clock and the field position. Marshall's first interception is a dropped ball by arguably our best receiver. So that's that kind of game, and we told them they'd be ready. We weren't sure who for them was going to be healthy. We counted on all their guys being healthy, and they were. And so it was just a gutty performance. But the first half they outplayed us, and we were in trouble. We needed to stop coming out of the half when we got it. But I thought we made some adjustments at halftime and kind of recentered our identity, which is we've got to be able to run the football.
All right, so we lost. Corbin Isaacs went out in the first, big loss right there, and boy, I tell you, cramps were all over the place. We had guys down. I didn't know if we're going to have enough players to finish the game out there. But I want to ask about Dylan Ross. He comes out. He's got injured early in the year. He came back, and he had ripped off some good runs. So talk about Dylan and the job that he did after Isaacs went out too. So
Corbin's done a great job stepping in for Dylan. Dylan opted not to get ACL surgery,
right?
So he could play his senior year and for games like this. So, especially who we played, this was a huge game for him, and he was a big part of us controlling the clock and scoring 3 times in the second half. We don't run the football. We don't score on those drives. So I couldn't be more proud of his sacrifice and his willingness to do what he needed to help us out and to be ready to go. First quarter he's in the game and it's all him.
Well, definitely, you could. He's not 100%, and
Right.
It's not a secret out there. But boy, just guts and determination. You can see that from him, and big rivalry game with Centerville also, so that has a factor there. I want to talk about that touchdown run that put us ahead. you had that monster package. Disaster was happening, but off goes Phillips. So talk about that play right there.
That's a big part of having, an athlete as your quarterback.
Yeah.
And I thought, there was a little bit of a high snap, and by then, the play was done, but he worked his way back across, and our guys kept blocking on that backside.
Yeah, there was a good block on the back end of that play that kind of sprung him there.
That's just, sometimes it works like you draw it up, and other times it's about Jimmys and Joes, not X's and O's. So that was an unbelievable play by Marshall.
Talk about at the end of the game, we're 4th and 1, and we don't make it. Yep. They got the ball at the 39-yard line, at our 39-yard line. Defense steps up at big time help.
Yep.
They helped us with a penalty, okay? But the defense stepped up. Talk about that series of plays right there.
Finally got a penalty call to come our way.
Yeah.
Just felt like we were, every time we get, that's what killed us in the first half too, was penalties. But fortunate, I don't know if it was a good call or not, but they called it, and I think maybe Centerville benefited from a bad call last week. So sometimes the football gods kind of even things out. But I couldn't be more proud of our defense. They again only gave up 1 touchdown in the second half. Again, to a really good football team with weapons everywhere.
All right, so that last touchdown pass to Deloney, everybody's looking for the run here. It took some guts to call that play because we're trying to run the clock or get them to use their timeouts. So what was your thought process on calling that play?
We were checking the edge. I felt like if we took a shot, we could win the game and kind of put it away because they were loading it up against the run. And then my assistant Ryan Hartman said, "Hey, what about Zombie?" It's a play we worked on all week, and it was a perfect situation. And we executed it perfectly. And then the 2-point conversion,
another gutsy coach call right there.
My philosophy is always, if you go up 7, you go for the throat. You go up 2 scores and go for 2. And that was again, it wasn't like it was drawn up. But Trent extended the play as long as he could, and then we benefited from a bounce, and Redder catching it and staying in bounds puts us up 9, or else they can tie it up with a PAT there on that touchdown. So there's too many guys to talk about. We've got Lyman coming out. Braden Chapman's coming in. We had a different center on that 2-point conversion play because Charlie went out, and that's our biggest issue, has been trying to build depth everywhere. And I felt like tonight we had guys ready to go when Corbin goes out, and we're filling in guys on both sides of the ball. And then Cam Gibson coming up with the
huge play at the end.
The hands team. That's the play of the game. A baseball kid who he's on the front line of the hands team, and he rose to the occasion and made the biggest play of the game. Again, there's just so many guys.
It's just and I'm going to agree with you. There's not one hero in this win right here. This was a definition of a total team effort from the first guy on the roster to the last guy. Everybody pitched in, Wes. All right, next week's not here yet, but we're gonna have enough players.
I think so.
we got a lot of guys that were limping at the end. Cramps were a big problem here tonight. Hopefully we can get that taken care of. So that'll be against Shenandoah. You want to keep the ball going. Well, congratulations, Wes.
Thank you very much.
All right, you're in control of the TEC at this point. So you have your own destiny in your hand. All right, that's been Coach Wes Soler. The Knights in a huge Tri-Eastern Conference victory over Centerville, 29-27, exciting ball game. This has been the First Financial Bank Coach's Comment.
When it comes to your home, you don't just want the job done, you want it done right. At Nate Lee Remodel and Restoration, we believe your space deserves craftsmanship you can trust.
Yay! I had to get in with the students for the celebration.
Yeah, they were having fun. They enjoyed it. Well, all right, we're running long here, Jerry.
Went a little long tonight, but hey, that's okay.
All right, what do we got going on? Volleyball, we got 2 matches.
Volleyball tomorrow at home against Knightstown. And then Thursday at home against Hagerstown.
Big match there for the girls.
And then Friday, home against Shenandoah.
Big game there for the Knights. We'll see how they respond after that big win.
And I don't know if you saw this or not real quick on football before we get out of here, is USA Today did their computer analysis and has the Knights 5th in 2A.
Okay.
And so the Knights have 2 victories over top 15 teams in 2A and 1 victory over a top 15 team in 1A.
All right. Well, congratulations. Hopefully they can keep it going. A lot of work to do for the Knights. You know, still that elusive sectional championship, Jerry. And Sunday night is volleyball draw.
And the following Sunday will be football draw.
So check it all out, IHSAA TV, and go see who the Knights will play.
Well, that's it, Rick. I think that's a wrap. We got things to do, places to go, and my dinner's on the table. And you've been watching Knightline Live.